I'm trying to do something. Hi. Oh, Bonnie, be careful. Oh, no. Oh, are you okay? Oh, Lord. Ah, this was not a good idea to sit on the floor. Oh, my goodness. Hi. You want to sit here with me while I do this? Okay. We have a visitor. She's insisting on staying here. So, hola mi gente. It's me, Kat. Welcome back to Kat and Too Many Books. And it's me and Bonnie today because she would like to stay. And today I am going to go over my library haul. So we are back. Hello, welcome to Pajama Sunday. I'm trying to bring Pajama Sunday back. It's me and Bonnie, as you saw earlier. She's hanging out with me. So what's going on is the last few weeks and months I have been picking up stuff from the library. You know, I'm trying to do my TBR, I really am, but also I'm trying to not buy every book I see that I want. I'm trying to sort of read them first and see how much I like them so I don't spend so much money. Yeah. So what I've been doing is kind of picking up stuff from the library that I want to read, but I don't want to buy. And maybe if I love it, I will buy it, right? If it's a 5-star, maybe even like a really good 4.5-star, I will buy it. Otherwise, I won't. So let me just go over the books that I've gotten. I'm going to talk about 2 that I'm currently reading. I'm in the middle of both of them. And I just bought them. I got this one a bit back. Trial of Lightning by Rebecca Roanhorse, which I started reading, I think, in February. And I keep putting it down. Not because it's not good. It's great. I just have so much stuff going on that I'm always like going back and forth from books. I'm reading 3 books at one time usually. So I'm on chapter 12 of this one, and it is about a Navajo woman. Her name is Maggie Hosky, and she has, when she was young, she was bitten by a monster, and she gained powers from her tribe, like tribal powers, and it manifests in some sort of form of lightning. And so she has been abandoned by her mentor, and has sort of been she's been kind of feeling, I don't know what the word is. Let me pause by saying I am sorry about the lighting because it is terribly rainy outside today, so there's no good lighting anywhere. Going back, she has been sort of lost without him, but she's asked by members of a different tribe if she could help them hunt a monster who's taking a little girl, and in the process she finds some things that are going awry, and meets and partners up with a another person who is a medicine man for the the tribe, and they kind of are figuring some stuff out. That's all I know so far. We're just getting into a bit more of the discovering of what is happening and what her involvement is, and I think really what her mission is about to become. So it's pretty good. And I won't be talking this much about the other books because I haven't read any of the others. It's just I was in the middle of this one, so I kind of knew what it was about. And then I picked up, because it looked kind of cute, I picked up Freshman Year by Sarah May. Little thing says, anyone ready? So it is a graphic novel, you can see, about Sarah. This is actually about Sarah and her freshman year of college. So yeah, it's good. I don't know that I'm going to be giving it more than a 3, to be fair. It's not bad. It's fine. It's good. But I don't quite I didn't go through the college process like, and I guess would be a typical way. So I don't connect with it in that way, but I do find the story interesting, and her and what she was going through. I can empathize, so it's good in that aspect. So yeah, I'm about let's see, I'm right here. So I have about this much left. So I'm halfway through, and I'll probably finish this today, to be frank. So yeah, That, that's another one. So these are the rest that I have not read, but I picked up because they were interesting. And some of them are because they were on the Women's Prize list. And others just because I saw them and was like, oh, that looks interesting. So the first one is the one that is called Days at the Morizaki Bookshop. It's translated by Eric Azawa, and it is written by Satoshi Yagisawa. It looks like a little bookstore. It's about a woman named Takakao, who is 25 and has a pretty easy existence until like her boyfriend, Hariaki, who she was supposed to get married, casually announces that he has been cheating on her and is going to marry somebody else. And so she kind of loses her job, her friends, her acquaintances, and kind of goes into like a deep depression. And her uncle, who owns a bookshop, kind of offers her a job. And so she goes there to sort of heal, and she meets a lot of people and learns a lot of different stuff. And then I think her ex-boyfriend sort of shows up again at some point. So yeah, and it sounded just lovely, and I like the cover so much. And it's a book in translation, which is I've been wanting to read books, translated books. It's one of my goals for the year to read a certain amount. So I was like, this looks great. And it's really short. I think it's like, let me see. Yes, like 147 pages. It's so tiny. It's one that I could read like in a day, obviously. Like I could read this really quickly. So yeah. The next one is one that I have had on my TBR for myself. I don't have it on my TBR, right? But I've had it for myself. I'm going to turn the lights on. Hold on a second and see if that helps. Make things better or worse? Oh, well, actually, I think that made things better. Yay! So I didn't have my lights on. I just thought, well, I should probably put my lights on. That's much better. So apologize for the beginning, but I'm not going back and redoing that. So we're going from here. All right. As I was saying, this book I've had on my TBR for a while that I wanted to read. I read the first book, which was You Had Me at Hola, a while back, and I really enjoyed it. And so this is one of the books in the Primas of Power series by Alexa Daria, and it's the second one called A Lot Like Adios. And I think I'm going to be much more excited to read it. I like the first one, You Had Me at Hola, because it was like based off of like soap operas. Like it was like the two main characters were actors in like a soap opera style thing, and I love soap operas. I grew up on soap operas. I totally enjoy that genre, and I was like, that's so much fun. Obviously they're Latino as well, so the Latinx characters representation is wonderful. But this one I also am going to highly enjoy because, again, Latinx representation, thank you very much. And it's a second chance romance. I believe the two of them were maybe like high school sort of sweethearts. I think they were really close friends, and they were getting somewhere, and then he left for his own reasons, and now he's become quite successful, and she also is quite successful at what she does, and they have to work together on something, so they have to meet again, and she's not very happy because he just sort of ghosted her. I think he has his reasons, which I assume we'll find out, but yeah, it's like a second chance romance, and I enjoy those the most, so I picked that one up. I've been meaning to read that a long time. I think I've already talked about this book in other videos, but since it's a library book, I'm going to talk about it again. I'm going to read The Hookup Plan by Farah Rashan, which is the last in the series that started a couple of years ago. Oh my gosh, what is the series actually called? I don't know what the series itself is called. Like the first one was The Boyfriend Project, so I always just say The Boyfriend Project series. So I guess The Boyfriend Project series. And I have enjoyed them quite a lot. I don't know if you know the premise, but in like The Boyfriend Project, the three ladies that are friends meet because they are all dating the same man. They don't know they're dating the same man, and then they sort of confront him. It becomes like this social media thing, and it brings them a lot of attention. But then they become really good friends. And then in each subsequent, when the first one, obviously in the subsequent books, they each find their person. So I enjoyed the second one more than the first. I really liked the first one, but I really loved the second one a lot. And I'm looking forward to this one. This is the story of, it is London. And so London is a pediatric surgeon, and she has to work with Drew. And they meet, and I think they might actually have like a one night stand or something, but then he turns out to be the person who's in charge of possibly closing her hospital. So they have that whole situation going on, plus their like actual attraction to each other. And yeah, and London's kind of a workaholic, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this relationship is going to sort of work out. So it'll be the last one. When I'm done with this one, I'll be finished with that series, and that is another goal that I had this year. And for my, and I'll put it up here, my goals for 2024. I wanted to finish several series, so that's going to be one. The next one that I got was Murder Comes to Call, by Jessica Ellicott. It's a Beryl and Edwina mystery. I really love this. This is a cozy mystery. It's adorable. It's about two best friends who live in the 1920s. They were like best friends in like prep school, like high school, I guess, what would have been the equivalent of high school. And then they meet again like later. Beryl is really free-willed and very free-spirited, and like has done a lot of things with her life. And then Edwina is more of a homebody, but Beryl ends up coming to live in the same town with Edwina, and helping each other out. And they start this little like detective agency kind of thing. They keep getting involved in these like mysteries and murders and things. This is actually the fourth in the series. I read the first two. I can't find the third one to save my life, but I'm gonna go ahead and read the fourth one because I feel like reading the other two, it's not necessary to have read them in order. I mean, I think as long as we read the first one, I feel like the other ones might be okay in any order. I'm hoping that this doesn't spoil the third one for me, but if it does, oh well, I'm taking that chance. So yes, I picked that one up as well. I do not know if I'm going to be able to finish all of these, but I'm going to try really hard. The next one is actually one I picked up because it was on the Women's Prize for Nonfiction. I think I've already spoken about this one before, so I won't go into very much. Is All That She Carried, The Journey of Ashley Sack, A Black Family Keepsake by Tia Miles. I've spoken about this again, like I said before. And it is, Tia follows, kind of tells the story, goes back and researches and tells the story of a Black family whose history is written on a sack that, I forget what the name, Rose. So I think it was South Carolina. Yeah. So Rose's daughter Ashley is being sold, and so she writes all the information about their family on the sack that she gives to her, and then her granddaughter continues to write it, and then Tia is now sort of going back and looking at this long legacy of this family through this knapsack. So I just thought it was really interesting. I'm hoping to read that very soon. The next one I found, just saw it, and it looked really good, and it's I think it's a series of short stories, but they all connect. It's called Happy Families by Carlos Fuentes. And I know that it is a series of vignettes, and I'm not sure if it connects to a town or some other way. I know they're all of the stories are, of course, are based in Mexico, and it's just kind of a bunch of different ones about families and sweethearts and strange sons and moms, and it's just like it's all families, obviously. The connection, and I just kind of was like, yes please, I'm gonna pick it up, and I really like the cover a lot, and I feel like my mommy had a cover like this when I was growing up too. But I don't know, it just called to me and I decided to pick it up. I don't know much about it, but I'm always into doing collections, so you can take your time reading them. The next one is called The Britannias, an Archipelago Tale by Alice Albina. This is again another one that is part of the Women's Prize Nonfiction, and it's all about the history of the islands of Britain. So I think that's what it is, if I remember. From Neolithic, Orkney, Viking, Shetland, and Druidical Anglesey to the joys and strangeness of modern Thanet, The Britannias explores the farthest reaches of Britain's island topography, once known by the collective term Britannia. This impassive journey demonstrates how the smaller islands have wielded disproportionate influence on the mainland, becoming the fertile ground of political, cultural, and technological innovations to shape history throughout the archipelago. So, sounded interesting. I'm kind of a little nerdy nerd sometimes about history, so looking forward to that one quite a bit. See if I like it. I may not, to be fair, but gonna give it a try. The next one I have is actually by Stephanie Garber, who wrote Caraval, and I quite enjoyed Caraval. I haven't read the second or third of that particular series, not because I didn't want to, but again, so much happening. And then there's so many books come out, and you just get so behind. I will finish them, though. I really will. But I saw this one, and I thought, well, let me pick it up. It's called Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I really don't particularly like this cover. I don't. But I know it's about a girl. Evangeline Foxes believe in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding and to heal her wounded heart, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. In exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses to be given at the time and place of his choosing. And so I heard someone say this reminds him a lot of oh Lord, Howl's Moving Castle. So like the Prince reminds a lot of people of Howl, which I love Howl, and while it sounds so like, I don't know, maybe sad, it apparently is quite cute and fun, and so I was like, cute and fun. Let me pick it up. So that'd be another one. The next one is called Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey. I picked this one up because of this month's Irish Reading Month, and I wanted to read from an Irish author. I have a couple Irish authors on this month's TBR. I don't know if I'm going to get to Migrations. I will definitely get to my other book that's from an Irish author. But I kind of found this really interesting. I think this was a finalist for either the Women's List or the Booker Prize. I feel like it was a finalist for something at some point. But it says, Franny Stone has always been a wanderer. By following the ocean's tides and the birds that soar above, she can forget the losses that have haunted her life. But when the wild she loves begins to disappear, Franny can no longer wander without a destination. She arrives in remote Greenland with one purpose, to find the world's last flock of Arctic terns and track their final migration. She convinces Ennis Malone, captain of the Sangani, to take her on board, winning her over his eccentric crew with promises that the birds will lead them to fish. As the Sangani fights its way south, Franny's dark history begins to unspool. Battered by night terrors, accumulating a pile of unsent letters, and obsessed with pursuing the turns at any cost, Franny's full of secrets. When her quest threatens the safety of the entire crew, Franny must ask herself what she is really running toward and running from. Sounded really good. So I decided to grab it. I think I heard about it last year, a couple years ago, and had it in the back of my mind and saw it and was like, I should pick it up. The next one I have is another one from this year's Women's Prize book for fiction. And I picked it up. I don't normally read the long list or short list for fiction. I mean, if I happen to want to read the book, I'll pick a book from the list sometimes, but I don't normally. I read a little bit of women's fiction, not much. But this time, which almost never happens on this list, there was a science fiction entry, like one that they put on the long list, and that was the Blue Beautiful World by Karen Lord. And I was like, yes, please. I love sci-fi. I've been trying to get back into my sci-fi love, and so I was like, this sounded really interesting. It is about the world is changing, humanity must change with it. Rising seas and soaring temperatures have radically transformed the face of Earth. Meanwhile, Earth is being observed from afar by other civilizations, and now they are ready to make contact. Vying to prepare humanity for first contact are a group of dreamers and changemakers, including Peter Hendricks, the genius inventor behind the most advanced VR tech, Carissa, a beloved celebrity icon with a passion for humanitarian work, and Kanoa, a member of a global council of young people drafted to reimagine the relationship within humankind and alien societies. And they may have an unexpected secret weapon. Owen, a pop megastar whose ability to connect with his adoring fans is more than charisma. His hidden talent could be the key to uniting Earth as it looks towards the stars. But Owen's abilities are so unique that no one can control him, and so seductive that he cannot help but use them. Can he transcend his human limitations and find the freedom he has always dreamed of, or is he doomed to become the dictator of his nightmares? Sounds great. Pop star. It sounds wild. Wild. So, yes, please. Let's do that one. The next one, I have a couple more. The next one is Some People Need Killing by Patricia Evangelista. I've spoken about this a few times. It is a book by Patricia who followed these gangs and other people in her community, and sort of lived among them and observed all of the killings that happened in the name of cleaning up her country, and sort of what the ramifications of that were and are still being felt. And so I'm here for it. It's a very apropos type of book. Things like that are happening as we speak. The next one I have is Young Queens, 3 Renaissance Women and the Price of Power by Lee Redmond Chang. The 3 women are 3 queens that England had, and it sort of talks about how they had to work through the society that they lived in, and of course the patriarchy and oppression and so forth, to gain the power that they gained. They're all connected. It's about Catherine de Medici, who also is about her daughter Elizabeth the Valorous, and then her daughter-in-law Mary, Queen of Scots. It's about the 3 of them and sort of their sort of lives. I started reading this a little bit. I'm very small. I'm on page I'm still in the introduction or the prologue. I haven't actually gotten into the meat of it, but so far I really enjoyed the way it's written. It's a very narrative style, and it's kind of like how I appreciate. Sorry, I have a bit of a sore throat. But yeah, I appreciate narrative style telling in nonfiction. I think it's really helpful. Makes it a lot more readable. But there's pictures and everything in here. It's gonna be good to look at. So yeah, should be fun. It should be fun for me. I do enjoy this kind of thing. But it should definitely be really informative, and I'm hoping to learn some new things about that. It's always good to find out what made people tick, to be fair. And the last one is A Haunting in Hialeah Gardens, which is a book by Raul Palma. This looks so cool. It's it's like a horror book. So I'll read it. I found it at the bookstore. I had not heard about this book. It's Is a Devil's Bargain Worth the Promise of One Man's Freedom? A genre-bending debut with a fiercely political heart. Hugo Contreras' world in Miami has shrunk. Since his wife died, Hugo's debt from her medical bills has become insurmountable. He shuffles between his efficiency apartment, La Careta, his favorite place for a cafecito, and Botanica in a strip mall where he works as the resident babalao. One day, Hugo's nemesis calls. Alexi Ramirez is a debt collector who's been hounding Hugo for years, and Hugo assumes this call is just more of the same. Except this time, Alexi is calling because he needs spiritual help. His house is haunted. Alexi proposes a deal. If Hugo can successfully cleanse his home before Noche Buena, Alexi will forgive Hugo's debt. Hugo reluctantly accepts, but there's one issue. Despite being a babalao, he doesn't believe in spirits. Hugo plans to do what he's done with dozens of clients before, use sleight of hand and amateur psychology to convince Alexi the spirits have departed. But when the job turns out to be more than Hugo bargained for, Hugo's old tricks don't work. Memories of his past, his childhood in the Bolivian silver mines, and a fraught crossing into the United States as a boy collide with Alexi's demons in an explosive climax. So it's supposed to be kind of really like a horror comedy. Like, it's supposed to be funny as well as scary. And yeah, I am really excited for this one. Really excited for it. for this one. I'm looking forward to it. Well, that was it, guys. That was my TBR. Tried to be very quick about it. And just let me know in the comments if you have read any of these or are planning to read any of these, have seen any of these, and which ones you think I should give a go after my 2. I'm currently reading these 2. So after I finish those 2, I'm going to grab a couple of more of those to kind of get through them. But yeah, thank you for joining me, guys. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.